We are back with more My Team as we arrive at round 4, Imola. Now, so far guys, it's been an unbelievable start to the season guys. If you haven't seen any of the first 3 rounds, check out the full playlist linked in the description guys, also on my channel, because so much has happened in 3 rounds. We've had 3 incredible rounds so far, and the results just keep getting better. Previous episode in the top right. Now, we had a drop in aerodynamic morale, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. In the meantime, we currently have a 27-point gap over McLaren MasterCard. We are winning this intense era-defining rivalry versus the Team Papaya. Now, let's do some activities. Now, we're going to do these to basically counteract the drop in aerodynamic morale. Now, to be fair, we're doing no upgrades. It doesn't really matter, but we want to keep team morale high. I somehow think that somehow links into like engine failures and stuff, so I want to make sure the team is doing well at all times and there's no issues with the environment in terms of the vibes and everyone's doing well. Now, the reason for that drop is because last episode we had to basically do a department event where we had to select either, giving preference to the chassis department or the aero. I opted for the chassis, thus penalising the aero side of things, which wasn't great. Now, we skip ahead on the timeline. We've got a season break coming up, so quite a big time between round 3 and round 4. And there's a lot that's going to happen, starting out with event number 1.
Okay, boss. Advance talks have gone well, I must say. We're now at the stage where we can meet face-to-face again with them if you'd like. The agenda today will be trying to reduce some of their expectations, get a better deal for us. And, of course, we can always delay.
Now, we have advanced talks. Now, to be fair, this is quite irrelevant as this is the final season. But again, this all links into morale, I feel like, and driver focus. And you still have to play this as if you're going to keep doing it in the long term to keep the team morale high, the drivers focus high, thus avoiding bad performances and failures. Now, Pierre gives out his terms. He's the most likely driver to re-sign for us in the team. Very strong percent chance that he can re-sign. But then we had Charles Leclerc, who also fancied a little chin wag. And to be fair, besides the vehicle performance ranking, which we are nowhere near first place, we saw last episode we are 7th, we do comply with fan rating and engineering workforce, thus giving us an 86% chance of signing him. Now, I thought that was it. I thought Pierre, Charles want a chat, but there's a third man in the mix. And it's the guy who actually turned us down last season, opting to re-sign with Red Bull. So far, 3 rounds in, Max Verstappen is not satisfied with things and he wants a change. But let me tell you, buddy, you had your chance last year, and quite frankly, I think you missed a golden opportunity to sign for the number 1 team in Formula 1.
Hey, Chief. Just a reminder to kick off some research projects. We don't want to fall behind our rivals, and we haven't got anything in the pipeline at the moment. Thanks.
Again, these messages sometimes are just baked in because it's automated, but it's completely irrelevant. We've maxed out everything, so there's nothing more for us to do. So we get out of the season break and we have another department event for personnel. We have a misjudged comment from a staff member. I opted to back them to, again, keep morale high. We've already had enough going on. But then the fallout from that actually gave us another aerodynamic morale penalty. So really not ideal from that point of view. Anyway, with that done out the way, now we can talk about today's episode at Imola, a track which of course we're not going to see in real life in 2026, but we're going to get to see today with maxed out cars in Season 4, and let me tell you, it's a bit of a mad one. Now, we have some rain forecasts for the race. Second half of the race is going to be pretty damn heavy rain. Qualifying seems to be dry. So far, we're 3 for 3. Gasly won the opener, Leclerc's won the last 2 rounds, and both our drivers are first and second in the Drivers' Championship, and we are leading the Constructors. So genuinely, it has been a dream start. Last episode was so good, in fact, we got a 1-2 finish playing Minister of Defense as Pierre Gasly. Again, check it out if you haven't seen it, link in the top right. Now, let's talk about Imola. First off, setup. We're going to quickly draft it up. It's very similar, pretty much all race weekend in terms of round 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's not a lot of changes. We're just running a modified baseline. We're jumping to practice, and we're going to get the car up to speed. Now, the delta was 1.5 seconds off on my first. I was nowhere near the benchmark. Lap 2, I was still like 8 tenths away, like nowhere near. Lap 3, I thought this would be the one, and it was. I was green, finally making some improvements and some headway, but then we had a very scruffy last couple of corners, which meant we had a third successive red score lap. Again, I don't need the R&D points, but it goes to show how strong the deltas are. And usually, 9 times out of 10, if there's a strong delta, it means the AI will also be very strong. So you can see we had decent tyre wear, below 1%, 43.5 kilos of fuel, which we're going to carry over into the race. In terms of the data, you can see how lap 2, 3 and 4, I was bulletproof, almost like a metronome in terms of consistency. Each of the 3 laps were basically identical, so I really found my groove in those last 3 laps once I got the car, hooked up. It took me a minute to get used to the maxed out car. Around here, it just felt crazy. Like, I can't describe it. It just felt like so much was going on. So it took me a lap or two to really get a grasp. But anyway, we finished in P16, which is actually very low key.
Welcome along, everybody, to Imola, just down the road from Ferrari HQ, and they know a thing or two about pace, and pace today is king. It's qualifying day, and it's great to have you with us.
Now, on track, warm-up lap, Verstappen does a 1:11.3 as the first quick time of the day, and then we're going to see Oscar Piastri go 9/10 quicker, which I was shocked at that gap. Obviously, I don't know what the lap time kind of ballpark is going to be as we overtake Sonoda on our first lap of the session. Now heading towards the 2 Rivazas, the final 2 corners, looking to finish up the lap, using battery to the line. Piastri did a 1:10.4, we do a 1:11.2. P3, but 7/10 off, which is a huge margin. So I opted to go again. We are P4, so we're pretty safe. We're chilling. We have a bit of a moment there through the Tamburello chicane, trying to hang on to the car. But as I was saying, I just want to try and get another little lap in to just find a bit more time. We managed to recover the 2/10 deficit as the lap went on, kind of gradually. We're now down to P5. We've got Behrman in P4 in the Haas, in the TGR Haas, which is insane. Antonelli moves up to 3rd, and we do find a bit of time at the final 2 corners, but we only improve on the margins. It's a very fractional improvement to a 1:11.1, and it doesn't change our position. Luckily, there was no real dramas, and even though we're a second off Lando Norris, who's P1 with the 1:10.1, we're through. And the same applies to Pierre Gasly. Even though he's done in P13, he's only half a second off us. So the field spread's really tight. From like Antonelli in P3 down, it's extremely competitive. But it just seems to be the trend this season. Norris and Piastri, even though they're in different cars, different teams, they can just knock out the lap times, and they're just in a different level. From the off, Lando does a 1:09.9, so he just lowers their benchmark, and my reaction there, says it all. So the levels Lando's operating at in qualifying is insane, but we tend to do pretty well, and we tend to ramp up our pace and get quicker as qualifying goes on. Over the line we go, and we do a 1:10.7, but it's only enough for 8th, which is very surprising because we went 4/10 quicker than our Q1 lap, yet we're 3 positions worse off. So we have to go again, and we need to find some time. The issue is that lap felt really good, so I'm not sure just how much time we're going to find. Now, we absolutely launch it over the curbs at the Tamburello chicane. Now heading towards the Villeneuve chicane, again, you need to really just crunch the curbs. There's no other way of driving this track. If you don't crunch and smash the curbs, you're not going to be quick. So you have to be brave, bold, and just send it. Absolutely launch it. It's not like last year's game where the track limits was broken. Here you can fully send it, and the track limits will respect you. So just keep it within the white lines and you'll be fine. So far, I'm sending it, but I'm only finding a fraction. Like, I'm not really moving the needle. We have a bit of a moment there at Acqua Minerale where I could have gained even more time than what we did. Over the Variante Alta, we launch it over the chicane. A bit low-key, not taking too much risk, but we get a nice, clean, tidy exit, and we're still just a 10th up. So you can see in the top left, Lawson's done a 0.678. So if we can just get this over the line, it would just move us up the order a little bit. We do find a bit more time through the 2 Rivazas, lost a little bit on the exit, on the run to the line, but it's enough to move us into P4. So we move 4 positions with a 10th and a bit. So it's really tight, like literally, okay? Again, discard the top two. In this case, it's going to be Norris and Verstappen. And then from Tsunoda down, I mean, it's extremely tight. And even if you discard Tsunoda, yeah, it's a hellish fight for Q3. There's a little bit of a gap there between Crawford and Antonelli, P10, P11. But yeah, down to P15, it's extremely tight. We didn't go out again. I took a chance because I didn't want to burn another set of tyres, and we made it through. Luckily, we got through. Gasly P3, 1 minute 10.4 for him. So both cars into Q3, and that is lovely jubbly. Albon out P11, big knockout. Also Antonelli P14 on home turf, big knockout as well in that one. Both TGR Haas, including Jack Crawford, into Q3, along with Liam Lawson. So those guys are the surprise candidates in this one. But Lando Norris, the only man in the sub 1 minute 10s, is just operating on a different level at the minute, and it's going to take something special for us to beat him for pole, because the gap is 6.5, nearly 8 tenths, or 7 tenths should I say. So it really is a huge margin. Now, my best lap in Q3 was my first one, so I'm going to let you guys enjoy some V12 engine note as we fully send it around this track. There we go, over the line then, job done, 1 minute 10.2, really good lap. A couple of small errors in there, but for the most part, it's a huge improvement over what we've done so far this weekend, and it's a personal best by a mile. We actually have the best first sector, but, can we find any more time? The answer is no, and I'm going to show you how the lap got away from us here, and yeah, we're going to kind of explain the nature of overdriving things. So when the lap before was so good, even with mistakes, it felt really good. I nailed certain elements. You start to think, where can you find time? And it's where overdriving begins. You start to do a bit too much. You know, you're not smooth anymore. You start to get a bit erratic. And yeah, so far so good. Okay, half a tenth, that's fine. But then here, Tosa, we brake way too late. I don't get the rotation. I get too eager. I smash the throttle as Piastri goes quickest. And we lost way more time. Through Piratella, accidental upshift. My hand was hovering over the upshift paddle, and as I hit the curbs, the full feedback maybe bump up the gear, which was a bit of a mistake, and then we horrifically messed up Aquaman and Riley, so we're 3/10 down. We then just launch it, absolutely launch it at the Variant Delta, and we find 0.2 of a second. So that is where there was even more time. If we just done a better job in the first part of the lap, we find another half tenth or so at the Ravazza. And yeah, we only finish a whisker away from improving. So actually, in reality, pole wasn't impossible. But I do believe, based off that lap, I reckon there was about 0.2. So 2 good tenths, maybe 2.5. Pole was just a little bit out of the question, but there wasn't that improvement that I expected. I thought I'd see like a 109.6 or a 5 from Lando or Piastri, but it didn't really happen. And yeah, your top three looking super quick. Verstappen leveled up in Q2. He was right on the pace. And to be fair, Tsunoda's also right there as well. So that top four is locked in. All four of them have been excellent in qualifying this season so far. And it's worth noting Gasly, who did a 0.4 in Q2, only a 0.7 down in P9, and both Haas in the top 8, and Lawson P6 in the Gulf Williams. So some pretty big ones there. Either way, qualifying done.
Hello there and welcome back to Imola, home circuit of the Scuderia Ferrari. We expect to see a lot of local supporters wearing red today, and they've all turned out for what we're expecting will be a sensational event here at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. One lap of Imola, anti-clockwise of course, unlike most Formula One circuits, will take our drivers round 3.1 miles of track. 19 turns, 9 right-handers and 10 to the left. Drivers will need to be precise at the hairpin at turn 7, given the subsequent uphill section. Without a good exit from that corner, they'll lose a lot of time on that stretch. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Oscar Piastri lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Tsunoda, Charles Leclerc, and Lawson, Behrman, Crawford, Gasly, and George Russell, Albon, Hadjar, Lance Stroll, and Antonelli, Colapinto, Ocon, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Jack Doohan, Hauger, Pepe Marti, O'Sullivan, and Paul Aaron rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. And alongside me in the commentary box today, a man who I always look up to, which is easier said than done, Anthony Davidson. So we're getting close to the start of the race. What will this driver be experiencing? Big nerves, big excitement, what?
Always extra nerves at the start of the race, Scruffy. Probably at the start of the race, it's where your heart rate's at its highest in anticipation, and you've got to be in the right mindset. You've got to be thinking there inside the car, what can go right? How can I be opportunistic rather than what can go wrong, and how do I protect my position? Look forward and stay positive. It's easy to say, very hard to do when you're in that position.
So here we go then. Time for the race, time for the main event, and we have rain, which means we are going to start on the hard compound tyre. I don't know if it's the best choice in terms of performance. I'm going to lower my tyre pressures a little bit so that the tyre hopefully has some better working temp and also just generally performs a bit quicker throughout. But yeah, we're going to try and basically drag these hard tyres into the rain, which I'm going to assume is going to be an accurate forecast. So yeah, alt strap, we might suffer in the first 5-6 laps. Hopefully we can survive after that. So let's get to it and let's see if we can win another race. And if we do, it could be huge for the championship already. Right, good out lap to be fair, good formation lap. We've got tyre temp in the hard, which is very hard to achieve, but brake drag in the whole lap has done the trick. So now we line her up in our grid slot and we're going to try and do a couple of burnouts just to keep those rears nice and warm. We're going to point the car a bit more aggressively and just try and survive. We can hold P5, that would be great. Right, here we go then, round 4. Showtime at Imola. Revs, lights, action, and we're off. It's a good start on the hard tyres. Lawson goes to the right side in the Golf Williams as we race towards turn 1. The Variante Tamburello. Still side by side. Also the two Red Bulls side by side here. Tsunoda Verstappen getting frosty as we now head towards the Villeneuve chicane. Lawson's still there, leaving room, got to be careful. There we go. Managing to get the move done. Around the outside, up front we've got Piastri in the Ferrari still leading the way. So, defending, oh my god, look at the acceleration from Lawson there. I'm just going to go around the outside and swing that around. None of that. None of that. We'll try and hold on to our P5 and try and make these hard tyres work. We'll see if the Red Bulls now maybe work together to try and catch the top 2. After an explosive start. These two already had such a good potential result that they threw away in Japan in round 2, of course, with Tsunoda, who was dominant, having that weird spin and getting disqualified, and Verstappen the only person to basically 2-stop, which Red Bull just threw it all away, so they'll be out looking for revenge today. They seem pretty quick. Onto lap 2. Let's try and get DRS. I'm using all my battery, but I think we're a bit slow in the straight. I'm literally draining everything. Also having a look there. I took a little bit of a defensive stance, turning in a bit early, but I think we're going to get dropped here as expected. So we're now going to be trying to survive and just trying to hold on to this P5 really until the mediums kind of fade a little bit and the hards swing around to be the best tyre. Yeah, we're going to wave a white flag here. Lawson's going to go straight through. Crawford hopefully will stay behind. I'm going to try and use my battery to keep him at bay. Oh my god, that was risky business. Risky business. We'll let Gasly go. Albon as well. That's a bad mistake to make. Almost got damaged there on the back of Lawson into Tamburello. So that was a scary one, but that relegates us to P11 and we just tumble straight away out the points. The AI just have such insane acceleration that I can't charge anywhere at the minute. Like they're just literally launching out of every exit and they just have unreal exit speed. I'm usually better at top speed, but you don't really get that here except for the pit straight, and I'm actually slower than usual, so my wings are a bit high. So we're going to be in Struggle Town instead of Imola today. DRS should help the floodgates from getting any worse. Hopefully we should be able to hold on now. Albon is almost about to be dropped here. So yeah, we'll be fine with a bit of DRS assistance down the pit straight, so maybe now we can try and settle in. Ooh, that's not good. Don't want that. Alright, personal best into the 113s. Gap behind over a second, so this is good. The 2 TGR Haas right now, though. Alright, a little bit of a cork in the bottle as Albon goes through on a move, or an attempt of a move, on Pierre Gasly. I'm going to try and get in on the action, but they're so strong down these short straights that it's hard for me to get involved. Down the inside of Tosa. Big send, we get the car stopped. And move up and move through, back into the points. We can now give Pierre a little bit of a rear safety net. And we can now just settle in here and try and move up. Battling ahead. Well, there's cars trying to battle. Russell trying to get through on Behrman. Like I said, the 2 Haas pretty quick. There we go. The 2 Haas pretty quick in qualifying, but in the race it seems they're starting to show their more realistic, true pace. But there's the first word on rain. That's a good sign though. 15 minutes from now, that's pretty good. The AI may well have boxed by then. Here comes Albon having a look. He's never getting through there. Ooh, big moment there for Pierre. Luckily for him, I'm not likely to punish him. Again, just because of how good the AI are on exits, although at top speed, this is my one place I can do something. Russell through on Behrman. Well, not quite anyway. Let's see if we can get involved here and climb the ladder a bit. That was really stupid for me.
That front wing is going to need replacing if it takes too much damage.
That was a really dumb move from me. I don't know why I just didn't back out. I thought I could have got enough momentum to kind of swing and get underneath, but I just got a bit of dirty air and I just washed out. That's a costly error there. It's not terrible, the damage. I'll see if I can survive, but it's not looking great. It's not looking great. Suddenly now the rain may not be the worst thing in the world, but I'll try and stay out and manage it. The issue is the damage is on the wrong side. This is an anti-clockwise track and we've got damage on the side you don't want because all the left-handers are going to be really tough. Gasly trying to move up on Behrman. That Haas can bloody go on the straights, I've got to say. Trying to see if I can get Behrman here. Probably isn't wise, but trying to give Pierre a little bit of insurance so he can move up and move on. He's going to be our main hope for this phase of the race to try and get some points for us. I'm hoping I can keep a good enough pace that I can come back into the race later. If the rain falls and the AI box, we might be able to come back into this on the Inter. That's my only hope. But for now, we're a bit like a fish in the middle of the desert. Oh boy, here comes Behrman. Big momentum. Goes to the outside, interestingly, so it's not able to get the move done. If he'd gone to the inside, he would have got that done easily. So we hold on for now. Antonelli's moved up also in the meantime on Albon. Ooh, that was risky on track limits, but it might yield results here because we might just get back into Gasly's DRS. If we do, I'll be shocked, but I think we've done it. The detection point is just down the hill. We've done it. Wow, and we've almost dropped Behrman, so we are doing really well here with damage. Gasly may not have great pace, But at least we're surviving here. This is huge. This is really huge. This can keep our race on track if we can get this to the Inters. Warning number 2. I had to take some risk. I've got to take some risk to stick with Pierre. It is what it is. Ooh, that was close. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful, but like I said, we're having to push.
Okay, we don't think we're far away from rain now. I'll keep you updated as conditions change.
We need that to hold on a little bit because at the minute the medium runners will be going straight to Inters and we don't want that. Oh my god, that corner is so dangerous. Oh, hello. Wow.
Pierre is in the pits.
Oh my god, it's raining. It's literally raining. If the leaders box now, we're in the money. If the AI, if the leaders who haven't boxed yet box this lap for their scheduled dry pit stop, we're in the money. Lando's making his way now on the last couple of corners. So this will be the decisive moment. Shout out to Pierre as well, by the way, for the big helping hand for the second race in a row. And yes, Lando's in. Does Piastri pit? He does. Everyone's in. If they're going for the hard tyres, we are in the money and we can fix the mistake. Everyone's in. Let's confirm tyres.
Okay, track conditions aren't improving. It's your choice as to whether you want to fit full wets next time you come in.
Absolutely massive. Everyone's in for another set of dries. No Inters. So we're we're into the lead for the first time. And now we get to correct that mistake, going straight onto the Inters and fixing our front wing. So now we just need to time this pit stop correctly. We'll go for one more. Lando has already gained nearly 4 seconds on this outer lap, which is insane. It's very close. I think on the premise that I have damage, I'm going to pit and get my wing fixed. We've still got 5 seconds over Lando, which is good. So I'd rather keep that advantage. We might burn the Inters up a little bit, but another lap Lando would be right onto us. So I don't think it's the worst call in the world to basically just switch now and safeguard P1. We're going to lose time with the wing change. So that's another thing to factor in as well. So here we go. This needs to be a good stop with no delays. Otherwise we may lose P1. Around 7.5. That's good. 7.7. That's standard. We'll take that. That's fine. Right. Still no AI pitting, which is interesting. But it won't be long. It will not be long until these Inters are the right time. We've got a nice clear track as well.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
Right. Let's get to work then. Let's see what the track conditions are like. Not too bad. Feels a little bit icy, but it should warm up and rubber up. I think we've got this spot on, to be honest. We've caught 2 seconds on Behrman already on this lap, so to me it feels right. Lando's stayed out. Oh my god. Piastri's in. The Red Bulls stay out. What? Split strats. Pierre stays out as well. What's going on? It's Inters. It's like split strategy. Some in, some are not. Okay.
The rain's going to keep getting heavier for the next 15 minutes at least.
There's Piastri, so we clear him. So that was the right call. I think we lost time, obviously, in that entire pit phase due to the wing change, but this extra lap is going to mean Lando had a chance to go P1 and McLaren have missed it, and they've bottled it. A bit like they were doing real life, of course, as we saw last season. They've got it wrong. But this is also bad news for Gasly as well. Right, here's Hadjar. I might lunge this, to be fair. It's risky business, but I don't want to get stuck behind him through that chicane. Piastri's rapid, absolutely flying. We might get stuck behind the Astons here at the Ravazza. There it is. Piastri got stuck.
Pierre is in for his stop now.
Shame we didn't get DRS there. But that's good. Let's see where Lando is. Wait, Lando's ahead. What? Okay, fair enough. Wow. That must have been an insane in-lap from Lando. He's well ahead. Even driving in the wet conditions. Damn, fair enough.
DRS has been disabled by the stewards. DRS will be offline. Wait for further updates.
I take back everything that I said about McLaren. What a couple of laps from Lando there. He must have put in a shift to undercut me by that much. He was 5 seconds behind me and he's 5 seconds in front. And I got the switch spot on. Right, so on to Inters, and that puts us in P2. So this now has to be the finishing target position, which would still be a great result for the championship. But I think Lando's going to disappear off into round 5 with this gap.
Okay, conditions are going to keep deteriorating for 10 minutes at least.
Okay, that's interesting. We might be seeing this race out on the intermediates then. Behrman's out. Late safety car. Looks like this isn't Creator Series and that won't be happening. Either way, let's bring this home. We've got Piastri under control here, where we found a decent little pace and rhythm to kind of establish and keep hitting lap after lap. But I'm just trying to mind the track limits as best as I can, basically. Obviously, Piastri without DRS will find it quite hard to pass me on the straight.
And we're still happy that we're on the right tyres at the moment.
It's definitely on the much more wetter side now. The track is just shining, so there's so much water coverage. Norris has lost a lot of time, which is interesting. There might have been a mistake. I really haven't been keeping an eye on the gap to him. I've been looking at Piastri the whole time, but let's see. Maybe Lando's got an issue. Something's changed. I think it's the heavy rain. The AI don't like it.
No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
The AI don't seem to like the heavy rain because I'm flying now. We've dropped Piastri entirely, and we're 3.5 behind Norris with 4 laps to go. Could we pull off the miracle here? I'm taking so much risk through there every time, but we might just be able to get a win. So all the risk I'm taking right now is probably worth it. If we finish second, we finish second, but if we manage to catch Lando without getting a warning, that'll be a huge win. We're going to make it. Oh my god, we're going to get to fight for this win. I don't know where the pass is going to happen. We need the rain to stay like this. If it dries up at the end, that's going to help the AI and Lando, so we can't really hang around. The sooner we get this pass done, the better. Oh, a bit deep there. Overdone it a little bit. Can we keep the streak alive? Great send through the chicane to put us within a second with 2 laps to go. Oh my god, this could be historic. I mean, look at that. Look at the confidence we have there, just sending it on the brakes, the grip. This could happen. At any minute, we need to strike. If we even get a whiff, we need to go for it and commit. This might be our best shot. If we get this right. Bit of rear locking. Not great. That's going to hurt the exit. We're pretty decent down the pit straight. If I can get close to the 2 Ravazzas. Yes, we can. Just need to get the exit here. That's not bad. That's not bad. We've got enough battery to try this. Lando's pushing though. Oh, we're going to run out of straight. We're going to go all in for this. This is it. Need to nail all of this. Oh my god, hello, we got the run. Lando defends. Run the outside. Yes, get it stopped. Don't invalidate. Ooh. We snatch Lando's chain on the last lap of the race. And somehow, some way, we're going to keep the streak alive. And it's going to be 4 out of 4 in Season 4 as we win in Imola. And we go back to back with Leclerc. Come on.
Grazie, grazie. And it's It's time for that special moment for our special three today. The podium awaits our top three finishers. And who gets to take the top step of the podium? Yes, it is I, Leclerc. Charles Leclerc on top.
I think that deserves a like, and if you're new, subscribe, because what a performance that was. An absolutely unbelievable race. It had everything. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so relieved after that mistake earlier on. That is a great recovery. Right, another W in the win column. Pierre Gasly gets no points, which is a bit of an issue for us, but let's break it all down in the standings. So, Leclerc, 24 points to the good, and is your early championship contender. Gasly drops to 4th with that performance. In the Constructors, we lead by 30 points. I believe Leclerc's won 3 in a row. So, after a P5 opener, 3 on the spin is a great way to bounce back. So, let's keep it moving, guys, into round 5. In the meantime, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, like, subscribe. As always, a massive shout out to my channel members. Check out the 2 videos on screen for more. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care. And that's goodbye from me. Grazie. Ciao, ciao.